Friends, have you ever bought a knife you just love to use because it came out of the box razor sharp and cut like a lightsaber, but then after a few uses, it wasn't so great anymore, lost its edge and didn't know what to do? Well, I'm going to tell you how to take care of that for less than 20 bucks. But first, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel and like this video. It's what keeps the channel going. Thank you. So first of all, the knife I show in this video is a Mercer Genesis 8-inch chef knife. I have a full review of this knife in my playlist, so go check it out. It's a great knife. But what I'm showing you here applies to any kind of knife. Pocket knife, fillet knife, hunting knife, kitchen knife, it doesn't matter. And let's go ahead and do a disclaimer. So you're going to see a million videos out there, some of them my very own, on all kinds of different sharpening, stones, diamonds, ceramic, fixed angle, sharpening belts, all that kind of stuff. You can spend thousands of dollars on all this stuff, and it's great to have, and if you're a knife enthusiast, you do need it, but it is very expensive. These stones can be $50, $60, $70, $80 a piece. And we're not here to replace all this equipment. We're here to avoid it. With a $20 investment, you can maintain your knife. The point is, if you buy a sharp knife, if you maintain it, you can keep that knife sharp and you won't ever have to put it on a sharpening stone, or very rarely will. What we're going to use in order to do that is a leather paddle strop. Now, where you may have heard the word strop before is back in the day, men used to go to the barber to get shaved, and they would use straight razors, and hanging on the wall would be a leather strop that they would rub the razor blade back and forth on, and that way maintain the edge of that straight razor. No compound, nothing. It was just leather. It was all in the grain, just like this ad says here. Just a leather strap that they rubbed the blade on and maintained it. And the blades very rarely ever saw a stone, if ever. And that's where they came up with the term razor sharp, or cuts like a razor. So this here is a leather strop. It is a wooden paddle with leather on both sides, and one side is a little coarser than the other normally. You can get these on Amazon, different manufacturers. They all sell them, usually for under $20. And that's what I have used for the last 6 months to maintain the razor edge on this knife. When it gets a little dull, I take it over to this leather strop, I give it a few swipes and maintain it, and it brings it back to the razor sharp edge that it came from the factory with. Now, the strop that you buy will come with this green compound here. It is a silicone compound. It's encased in a waxy substance that turns it into a bar, and you grab the suede section, the rougher, the coarser section of a rawhide, and you apply the compound. Now, on this particular strop, I have it on both sides. You're not going to want to do that. Only apply the compound to the coarse leather side. Keep the other side clean with no compound. And the clean side is what you're going to use on a daily basis to keep the edge maintained. If you use it quite a bit and you notice the knife starts getting dull, you'll use the side with the compound on it. Also, save the box, keep the strop inside the box, keeps it clean, keeps it from getting contaminated. Make sure your knife is clean, wipe it off with a paper towel, make sure there's no cooking oil or anything on it. And what we're going to do is we're just going to drag the knife. You see the bevel here on the knife. We want to drag it on the leather with light but steady pressure, and try to drag it with the same angle that the bevel on the knife is. Make sure you don't deform the leather. You just want a nice, lightly firm drag, and you can feel it when you have it right. Now, what you're trying to do is imagine that's the edge of the knife is pointed like this, the apex. And what happens is the edge of that is toothy. like my fingers here. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So here is a microscopic of a blade of an edge, and if we zero in right on that edge there, we can see it's kind of like a saw blade from the scratch marks in there. And what happens is those tip of that edge, they start rolling over a little bit, they start bending over. Imagine like a teeth on a saw. And what we're trying to do is we're coaxing them back into shape. We're dragging it on that leather, and we're just kind of pushing them back where they need to be so it's back into a point. The compound is also going to get rid of some scratch marks and maybe some wire burrs and stuff like that. And I'll get into stuff like that in my other videos that are a little bit more technical and in-depth. This video is just for a new knife with a known good edge to maintain it. And that also brings us to another talking point. When you use your kitchen knife, you're going to want to rinse it off and put it on a drying rack. Dry it and put it on a rack before you put it back in a block. Do not put it in the sink with other dishes. Do not put it in the dishwasher where it can clang around. Those are the things that are going to dull your knife quickly. Try not to cut on china plates, and be careful when you get into bones and stuff like that. You want to use a proper chopping board, cutting board. That's not going to dull your knife. Don't use glass. Don't use any ceramic, wood, or the starboard white style cutting boards. Those work pretty good. Make sure, try to dig your fingernail into it. If it seems like it gives a little bit, then you know it's okay for your knife. If it's hard like glass, it's going to tear up your knife blade, dull it out quick. Just the facts there is. Alright, so working this blade back and forth, light pressure on the compound, maybe 20 strokes each direction. Nice firm pressure. Eventually we're going to be done, and you can feel the edge and you'll feel it get sharp again. Usually, like I said, 20 strokes, 10 each way. Then just check your edge. The knife will let you know when it's ready. When it is, flip it over. Go to your smooth side. Like I said, on yours I recommend don't put in compound on the back side. It's just I already had done that to this strop, and I'm just not adding any more to it. And give it a few swipes, and you're also kind of cleaning the compound off of it on this side. Now there's going to be some YouTube experts out there that disagree and say rubbing the knife on just leather with no compound is futile because it does no good. They believe that the idea of stropping is using the compound to polish the edge. And as I explained earlier, I'm not trying to polish the edge, I'm trying to realign the edge. And like I showed you in the ads from the old straight razor days, they didn't use compound on those strops in those barber shops. That was just leather, because the leather itself has a certain amount of silica in it that's going to act as a kind of a natural compound. Different leathers have different amounts. I think horsehide is one of the best ones, and some of it gets pretty expensive. But I'm trying not to get too technical in this video. I will make another video where I go more in depth and explain myself better. This one, I just want to hit the basics. And the truth is, you can make a knife do this for 6 months and never touch a sharpening stone. I think the proof's in the pudding. But you say, John, what about this knife steel that came with my block of Hinkle knives? I've seen Gordon Ramsay use this, and he swears by it. Well, I don't think so. You can draw your knife on there. It's supposed to be the same principle. It's supposed to straighten out the edge of the knife. But this thing is round. The strop is flat. So which one do you think is going to give you a better edge? The strop. So leave that knife steel in the block. Use it for decoration. And use your leather strop from Amazon for 20 bucks. And get you a knife that can do this. Alright, that's going to wrap up this video. Hope you enjoyed it. I hope you subscribe to my channel, like the video. Check out my other videos for the knife giveaways. Check out my other sharpening videos for those who wants to go into more detail. Hope you understand the purpose of this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. Be good.